The cybernetic clearing. It's not just AI robots versus individuals. It's AI guiding entire ecologies. The substance is to think in circles. The substance is to think in circles. If you control the data, then you control the AI. Art is an early alarm system. Artificial stupidity. Art is an early alarm system. Artificial stupidity. The robot is the mascot of an epoch that prefers stories to structures. AI and intelligent robots dominate because they are narratable. They offer faces, villains, awakenings, rebellions. Yet the phenomenological truth is that the decisive change does not arrive at a singular being among beings, but as a transformation of how of appearing. The world itself is reinterpreted as system signal and controllable loop. The world itself is reinterpreted as system, signal, and controllable loop. The world itself is reinterpreted as system, signal, and controllable loop. Where the world is primarily revealed as threat and advantage, beings show up as targets, assets, and vectors. The early prestige of theorem-proving and war-driven appetite for automation trained the public's imagination to ask the wrong question. Will the robot replace it? Will the robot replace me? Will the robot replace me instead of the real one? What sort of world is being built around me? Will the robot replace me? What sort of world is being built around me? Drones and humanoids are visible, therefore contestable. But the advisor dissolves into workflow and procedure. It becomes how decisions happen. What is most powerful is what becomes ordinary. Feedback ceases to be a theory and becomes a default comportment. Engineers, managers, and institutions assume that the real is what can be sensed, fed back, and corrected. In this climate, the question of being is replaced by the question of optimization. Dynamic systems framed by input, output, and flow do not merely describe machines. They prescribe a metaphysics. The world is interpreted as a circuit whose meaning is stability, throughput, and control. What resists measurement is treated as noise. What cannot be controlled is treated as failure. It grasped embeddedness by not emergence. It grasped embeddedness but not emergence. It saw the actor in the loop, but not the loop as a many-bodied world. The network, heterogeneous, multi-scale, self-amplifying, forces thought to abandon the comforting fiction that understanding the part yields understanding the whole. The network is not an object, it is a mode of worldhood. To think network phenomenologically is to see that relations are no longer secondary links between primary things. Rather, the relation is the site where meaning is constituted. In such a world, agency is distributed, responsibility is refracted, and causality becomes a weather. The attempt to explain the whole by the individual is an ontic habit that fails at the ontological threshold. In complex networks, the system behaves with a character no element possesses. This is why chaos and complexity were only foreshadowings. They named turbulence but not yet named the new governance problem, designing the conditions of emergence. Ecosystems do not want what metrics want. To guide an ecology is to decide what counts as flourishing, what sacrifices are acceptable, what kinds of humans are allowed to appear as exemplary. The question of the good here is not a side constraint. It is the hidden sovereign. When most aspects of human life become measurable, the human shows up as a profile of regularities, and life shows up as a data set awaiting governance. The risk is not merely surveillance, it is the quiet substitution of legality for truth. It is the quiet substitution of legibility for truth. What begins as prediction of storms becomes prediction of crowds. What begins as planning roads becomes planning lives. The ecological turn of AI is the turn from tool use to world management. We did not start with machines, we started with information for survival. Writing, then computation, then machine learning. Each intensifies the social capacity to stabilize meaning across distance and time. But intensification is not innocence. It changes what counts as a fact and what counts as a common sense. Tyranny of algorithms names a domination that can occur without visible domination. It is not the rule of a dictator, but the rule of procedures whose authority is outsourced to expertise and opacity. Unelected data experts do not seize power. Power accrues to the infrastructural layers where the decisions are framed before anyone votes. The earlier drama of robots versus individuals was a small theater. The contemporary situation is that AI participates in shaping the conditions under which society coordinates laws, agreements, norms, thereby shaping the very space in which freedom can appear. To reveal inputs and outputs is to insist that judgment not be privatized by hidden pipelines. Without shared visibility, the public loses the ground on which disagreement can remain rational rather than tribal. It strengthens what worked and weakens what failed, thereby sculpting the future. This is not merely learning, it is the production of a norm. When scaled, it becomes a cultural metabolism that decides which behaviors will be rewarded with continuation. The system can succeed while being uncomprehending. When the context shifts, it commits horrible mistakes because it never dwelt in meaning, it computed patterns. A world that entrusted itself to such systems risks substituting statistical adequacy for understanding. A world that entrusts itself to such systems risks substituting statistical adequacy for understanding. To have context is to be situated within significance, to be answerable to a world. The non-contextual system is, in a strict sense, world poor. It has outputs, but not a horizon of relevance. When basis functions are drawn from physics, the machine is given a world grammar. What counts as plausible, continuous, lawful. When social physics is embedded, the machine is given an anthropology. What counts as typical, contagious, trend-like. In both cases, the algorithm does not discover reality, it inherits a metaphysics. The claim that a few noisy data points can yield beautiful descriptions is a reminder that knowledge precedes data. Without an already given sense of lawfulness, the data set is mute. Thus, next generation AI is less a revolution than a return to the demand that models answer to the structure of the real. We are reinforced for what benefits the group and discouraged for what violates norms. This is how a human AI already operates. It is a tradition, a reputation, imitation, and a sanction. The danger is not that AI will make culture mechanistic, but that it will make culture fragile. Too fast to metabolize error, too optimized to tolerate ambiguity. Social sampling is the ontic mechanism of the they, and its corruption is the ontological crisis of our time. We copy what seems popular and then test it against personal judgment. This can produce a collective intelligence until advertising, propaganda, and fake news distort the appearance of popularity itself. When the they is engineered, the clearing fills with counterfeit consensus. A society can become smarter only when the consequences of actions are allowed to show themselves without systematic distortion. Without such disclosure, reinforcement strengthens the wrong pathways and punishes the right ones, and the system becomes a factory for confident errors. The census is a political phenomenological invention, a shared floor of agreed-upon facts. It does not eliminate disagreement, it makes disagreement inhabitable. The dream of trust networks is to extend this floor to a digital ecology, vetted data, monitoring algorithms, and community standards that keep the world from dissolving into private hallucinations. To decide what is measured and how it is compared is to decide what counts as reality for governance. The UN goals, the badge, the dashboard, these are all neutral tools. They are world-making instruments. Physical segregation becomes conceptual segregation. Conceptual segregation becomes incompatible worlds. If mobility patterns never cross, then meaning never cross. Justice, fairness, and dignity become local dialects rather than shared speeches. The plague of polarization is not only ideological, it is phenomenological. People inhabit different clearings. When balanced facts are replaced by adrenaline, the public loses its bearing, its capacity to orient itself within a common world. Manipulation becomes easy not because people are stupid, but because the ground of shared sense has been eroded. Manipulation becomes easy not because people are stupid, but because the ground of shared sense has been eroded. As law becomes more digital, more procedural, more distant, it risks becoming a machine that no longer dwells with those it judges. A justice system can fail precisely by becoming better at formal correctness, by becoming worse at lived legitimacy. Foundations act where governments do not, producing genuine goods while simultaneously shifting sovereignty into private hands. The churning of fortunes is a kind of systematic self-correction, but it is not guaranteed and is not substitute for legitimacy. In earlier epochs, the rail line reorganized the map. Now the data line reorganizes the horizon of decision. Whoever controls the pipelines controls what can be seen and thus what can be willed.